Over the weekend, I was locked out of my Airbnb and spent all night and the following day outside. What I could have done is been reactive. Instead, I was actionary and took an obstacle and turned it to an opportunity. I had a lot of fun walking around, paying attention to what was going on in the sky specifically, because that night the clouds were really doing something interesting from my perspective. It might have been just because I was paying closer attention to them than most people were, because this was around midnight when I was shooting, and when I got locked out it was 10 p.m. So I just kind of spent the day just like really truly being a free spirit and wandering around and not worrying about things, not worrying about what was next, not worrying about what I might hear from the landlord, the host. And yeah, just kind of just went with the flow, as you can see in these pictures. Then around 3 a.m, I went to Denny's to kind of like warm myself up because it was starting to get cold outside, and I didn't have a change of clothes because I didn't expect being outside all night. And so I stayed there and just warmed myself up, met the coolest couple in the world that like really showed me empathy and kindness, and you know who you are. And then after the meal, I was like, okay, what's next? Let's go to the beach. So I started walking towards the bus stop, and I look up, and I swear the sky was on fire. There were all these layers of clouds and yellows and oranges, and I'm outside witnessing this, and so I document it, and I'm just like, this is incredible. The universe has my back, like literally, and it's showing me signs, clues in the sky, and I just needed to pay attention to them. This is Huntington Beach area, and I've been up all night, got locked out of my Airbnb. And man, nature, the universe just keeps providing for me today. I think it knows that I've been up all night. I know it's not just for me, it's for all of you out there, but who's actually awake right now at 6 a.m. on a Saturday in California, and I'm standing in the middle of the road doing dangerous stuff as I usually do for my art. And just look at that. So yeah, it's been a really, really rough night because I have been outside all night. I only have shorts and t-shirt and clothes on my back. And I haven't gotten upset. I'm actually surprised at how well I'm keeping my shit together, because I think most people in this circumstance would be hella pissed and, at these people that neglect their guests. But I'm like, we're human, we make mistakes. This unfortunately really affected me, but like, did it really affect me? I mean, how many people are looking at this right now, and everyone's in their cars driving around, and I'm in the middle of the road taking pictures. Alright, I think where I'm at a spot where I think I can actually shoot it, because that's what I wanted to do, is like come down here and try to take photos, but it's not going to be very pretty with the city in the background, but I feel video does it justice. I'm going to try crossing the street really fast. Take you guys with me. Get run over for your art, Chad. Let me go over here, because I found a spot. I'm probably gonna be doing more of this like POV vlogging kind of stuff. this real-time sort of stuff. Wow, look at that. This is what you're seeing is pretty close to what I'm seeing. It's not super bright, but at the same time it is. There we go. I think that's pretty close. Just birds are waking up. I am not alone. And I've said this before, if you ever feel alone, it's like just go out to nature. When I lived out on the Oregon coast, that's where I really learned this. Amazing, amazing. Wow. I mean, that is getting paid, my friends. So this is probably the photo spot right here where I can shoot from. I'm just gonna do a little test. I mean, it's not super interesting anymore. When I first saw it, it was just absolutely gorgeous, and now it's starting to dissipate. But look at the clouds. They're so wispy. I call it the wispy clouds. This is what I always look for when I'm doing out shooting. I'm scoping. If I see clouds earlier in the day, like this, when they're all broken up like that in patterns, that's what I look for. And there's the sun over there. This camera doesn't do a great job with the sun, so sorry, I'm trying to keep it steady, but I have to zoom in, so it's a little tricky. So I decided I'm gonna make I think I need to make a cloud chaser shirt, because that's what I am now. I used to be a sunset chaser, but I don't know, lately I've been really into clouds. I guess like that's the inner child, thing that I don't ignore. Sorry about the traffic. I don't ignore that kind of stuff. You gotta be a little kid and explore, stay up all night. Like, it's almost like I feel like I'm back in my high school days when I didn't have a lot of responsibility and I could just kind of go with the flow in life. And this has been a really good example of it, of a, turned out to be a really great night and day and morning. And see, I've already kicked it off like with this positivity, that means the rest of the day is gonna go the way it's starting. I've created the momentum, and that momentum has been carried me over since last night. So I arrive at Dog Beach, and first thing I see is this really beautiful white Labrador looking mix, maybe husky mix. And I don't really think about it, and I'm looking at the dog, and I'm just like, man, I would really love to have that dog come over here and say hi to me. I'm like, I'm hurting. I need some pooch love in my life, and because dogs are the reason why I literally am alive and why I started Pooch and Zen. And so I just kind of nonchalantly wave the dog over. Well, the dog gets the cue, and it has to like run all the way down off the beach. There's an inlet that's like all of the water from businesses and stuff that goes into the ocean is there. So it has to like cross it and then run up to me. Doesn't even know me. This dog runs over, runs up to me, and immediately like gives me faceness, which is really rare for dogs when you first meet. They don't usually do that. And this dog was just like, came up to me and gave me all this free love. It actually put its back against me, like I said, that's a German Shepherd type of a thing. That's typically what they do, or Great Pyrenees. And this dog just like, I think this dog knew I was like hurting, and it was a long night, and it needed to give me something that I didn't even realize I needed. So that was it. That was my exciting Friday night going into Saturday morning of being stranded outside. But, in a lot of ways, like, was I really stranded? was it really a bad thing? Because in so many ways, it wasn't, because of the simple fact that I ebbed and flowed like the ocean does. I didn't let things get to me that I didn't have power over. I had no control over the situation. I realized that very quickly early on to the night. So I had already had the mindset that I needed to just keep flowing. And so this is was a really wonderful learning lesson for me, and that's why I wanted to share with you all. And just think about that. And the next time you're having a really challenging morning, challenging day, and what can you do with your mindset? Where can you make a shift and go from being reactionary to actionary? Because that's the key. A lot of us humans, we tend to try to find the worst in every situation, every scenario, and next time you're feeling like that, use this experience I had as inspiration for your life and think about things differently. Because if you can look at a negative situation from a different angle and take that opportunity take that obstacle and turn it into an opportunity, life just is better. So I hope you all enjoyed this story, and next time I go out, I'm packing pants and a long sleeve for sure.